The Go-Giver is a book written by Burg and John David Mann, and it's about a powerful shift in the way we think about success. Instead of focusing on getting as much as we can for ourselves, the book introduces the idea that real success comes from giving value, influence, and authenticity. It's a simple story that offers a revolutionary approach to life and business, showing that the more you give, the more success you attract. In this video, we'll take you through the journey of Joe, a young go-getter who learns these lessons and transforms his life using what the book calls the 5 Laws of Stratospheric Success. These 5 simple laws can help anyone, whether you're in business or just looking to live a more fulfilling life. Meet Joe. Like many of us, Joe is ambitious and hardworking. He's always chasing success, but no matter how much effort he puts in, he feels stuck. His sales numbers are low, and he's running out of time to meet his targets. Joe believes that if he just works harder, he'll make it, but deep down, he knows something is missing. That's when Joe meets Pindar, a consultant with a reputation for helping people achieve extraordinary success. Pindar has a very different approach to success. Instead of telling Joe to push harder, he introduces him to the idea of giving. Pindar tells Joe that true success doesn't come from taking or focusing on yourself, it comes from giving. He explains the 5 Laws of Stratospheric Success, which guide Joe on a journey that changes his life and career. Let's take a closer look at each of these laws and how they transform Joe's approach to success. The first law is the law of value. It says, your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. At first, this idea sounds confusing to Joe. How can you give more than what you're paid for? But Pindar explains that the value Joe provides doesn't just come from the product or service he sells. It's about the total experience he offers his customers. Let's think about Starbucks. They're not just selling coffee. They're selling an experience. The value they offer includes a comfortable atmosphere, free Wi-Fi, and a welcoming environment where customers can relax or work. By giving more than just a cup of coffee, Starbucks has built a loyal customer base that keeps coming back. Joe realizes that if he can offer more value to his clients than what they're paying for, he'll build stronger, lasting relationships. It's not just about the money he makes, it's about the value he delivers. The second law is the law of compensation. It states, your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Pindar introduces Joe to Nicole, the owner of a high-end restaurant, who explains this law through her business. She tells Joe that the more people she helps with her exceptional food and service, the more income she earns. It's a simple formula. The more people you can impact, the more successful you'll be. Take YouTube creators, for example. Someone like Mr. Beast started with a small audience but focused on creating content that people loved. Over time, his audience grew into the millions. The more people he entertained and inspired, the more successful he became. His income followed because he served a large audience with value. Joe learns that instead of focusing on just a few clients, he needs to think bigger. By serving more people and improving their experience, his success will grow naturally. Joe starts thinking about how he can expand his reach and help more customers in his sales job. The third law is the law of influence. It says, your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. This law is all about building meaningful relationships by putting others' needs before your own. Pindar explains that people are more likely to trust and follow you when they know you genuinely care about their success. A great real-world example of this is Patagonia, the outdoor clothing company. Patagonia doesn't just sell jackets, they prioritize environmental sustainability and their customers' long-term needs. They even encourage customers to repair old gear rather than buy new products. By putting the planet and their customers first, Patagonia has built a loyal community that values what the company stands for. Joe realizes that to build influence, he needs to prioritize helping others, even if there's nothing in it for him immediately. By focusing on his clients' interests and genuinely trying to help them succeed, Joe starts to see how his influence grows. Customers return to him because they trust him. Oprah Winfrey is another excellent example of the law of authenticity. Oprah became one of the most influential figures in media by being herself. She shared her personal struggles, triumphs, and vulnerabilities, creating a deep connection with her audience. By being authentic, Oprah built trust and influence that made her a media powerhouse. Joe learns that people respond best to the real you, not a facade. He starts to approach his clients in a more genuine way, showing his true personality. As Joe builds more authentic relationships, he notices how clients begin to trust him more deeply, leading to better business outcomes. Finally, Joe learns the fifth law, the law of receptivity. This law says, the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. Pindar explains that many people struggle with this law. They're great at giving, but they're uncomfortable with receiving help, opportunities, or rewards. But giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. By giving generously, you open yourself up to receiving in return. A real-world example of this is Warren Buffett, one of the greatest philanthropists in the world. Despite giving away billions, Buffett is always open to receiving ideas, opportunities, and advice. His openness to receiving as much as he gives has been central to his long-term success. Joe realizes that while giving is essential, he also needs to stay open to receiving the opportunities, help, and rewards that come his way. He learns to embrace the flow of giving and receiving, understanding that this balance is key to creating abundance in his life. As Joe applies these 5 laws, his life begins to change. He's no longer focused on just meeting his sales targets. He's focused on providing value, building relationships, and being his authentic self. And as a result, Joe finds the success he was chasing, but he also finds something deeper: meaning, fulfillment, and purpose. Let's quickly recap the 5 laws of stratospheric success. The law of value: provide more value than you take in payment. The law of compensation: your success is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. The law of influence: prioritize others' interests first. The law of authenticity: be yourself. Your greatest asset is you. The law of receptivity: be open to receiving as much as you give. These 5 simple laws are more than just a business strategy. They're a guide to living a life of abundance, connection, and success. If you found this message inspiring, we'd love for you to join our community. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more inspiring content like this. Thanks for watching, and remember, the more you give, the more you have.